Hello, everybody. Welcome to my Fear the Walking Dead review. This is for episode 5 of season 4. Episode is titled Laura. Now, as many of you know who have been watching, I have been very, very excited about about Fear lately. It's getting on that level, very similar to The Walking Dead. It's very interesting storyline, different new characters that they're adding in season 4, and just the overall feel of the show has really improved. Really, I want to say since season 3. Season 1, was good. It wasn't bad at all. It was just getting going. People weren't really sure what to expect. I mean, I wasn't expecting it to be on the same level as The Walking Dead. Many people did for whatever reason. I don't know why you would. I don't know why you would think it would be on the same level as The Walking Dead initially when it's first starting. I mean, The Walking Dead was pretty good right from the start, honestly, right off the bat. It was really good right from the start. It got better. There were some sort of lulls. You know, I in terms of lulls for The Walking Dead, season 2 was a little bit of a low, but I still enjoyed it. I still enjoyed that we had, it was a relaxing first half. Minus losing Sophia, it was a relaxing first half. And then it started to pick up again at the end and escalate, and then it went out from there. But there were other moments sprinkled throughout the seasons. I'm not going to go over them, but one of them being still is a real standout low episode for me. I didn't hate it, but they could have done things a little bit differently with that episode. It wasn't really necessary with that episode. But anyway, I'm rambling here, but point I'm trying to make is Fear's starting to get really good. It has been since season 3. And this episode is just showcasing just the different types of episodes we can expect to see at this point from Fear. You have action-heavy episodes, and then you have episodes like Laura. Laura wasn't actiony. There weren't explosions going on. There weren't gunfights. It wasn't. There were no antagonists in the episode. It was a pure story-based episode that gave backstory into these two new characters who are new to this universe in Fear and are very interesting characters. I'm a big fan of John Dory. Garrett Dillahunt is. I'm not super familiar with him, but he's doing a really good job so far in Fear. I know he's been around. I believe he was in Deadwood for a while, but I know he's been around, so he's good. I like the whole cowboy western feel. It's a it's a different feel, but yet not so different. We've had Rick with the Python, which is a 6-shooter. We have John Dory uses these two handguns, which I'm pretty sure they're 6-shooters, but he uses 2. We know he gave one to Naomi, but at the point in this episode, he has 2 that he uses in conjunction with each other. And that was a pretty cool scene at the end, towards the end of the episode. I enjoyed that for several reasons. I'll get into it as I go through, but there's episodes like this that really just delve into the backstory that I love. When done successfully, they could be some of the best episodes of a show. Now, when they're not done successfully, they could just totally bomb and end up like still. But that's sort of the point I was trying to allude to earlier. But anyway, this episode, not a lot happened, yet a lot happened. It was a subtle episode. We have John's backstory a little bit. He's by himself. We get the sense he hasn't been around people for a while. He does make that a point in the episode. And he has his routines. He seems to be a man of routines. He sort of does this similar things all the time. He likes to watch movies. He plays Scrabble by himself. He just sort of does just daily whatchamacallit, just daily routines, just some things that, people do today, just daily maintenance stuff around, just taking care of things, and some of that maintenance does include taking out infected, or the past, as he calls them. He has sort of a moat built there, which I think is pretty cool. For the most part, it serves the purpose. You pretty much, at the end, you'll see, but at the end it doesn't really, it helps, but not a whole lot. But on an average day, it's pretty successful. That's cool. I really thought that was cool and unique. And he's isolated. He has a moat. And we see that every so often the past will float down the river, and he has to take care of it. But on average, he's pretty quiet, and he's pretty much what's the word? He's undisturbed by a lot of by this world. He's separated from everybody. He's not with the group. He's by himself. So, okay, he saves Laura, takes her in. She's cut. He helps heal her, take care of her. Make sure she's pulls through and is healthy before she ends up leaving. What happened to her? I would like to see what happened to her, because there was some stuff revealed in this episode. She was with the group. We know that from promos from this week's next episode, tomorrow night's episode. We know that she was with the group. Obviously, things did not work out well, and she did get out. I don't think anybody else did, but she had a group. So we get a little bit of backstory from her, but I'll get into that sort of at the end, because it's sort of big, and that's really when it happens. Okay, so they make a run. Once Laura, he just sort of gives her the name Laura. He asks her. He says he says his name, John, and she really doesn't seem like she's saying her name. So he asks her if Laura is appropriate, and she just sort of goes with it. So I'm assuming at this point that Naomi is her official real name, but she never, for whatever reason, told him. Even after they have that moment at the end of the episode, she still doesn't tell him what her real name is. But John doesn't He doesn't use guns, and I mean, he obviously does use them in the current present. He has when he's, he does when he has to, but excuse me, sorry. He was sort of not really. I don't know if traumatized is the right or appropriate word to say, but he does sort of freak out a little bit after if somebody is robbing the store. I think it's the store that he goes to with Naomi, the gas station, little convenience store. I'm not sure if that's the place that was being robbed. I believe it was. And he goes to shoot the guy. He tries to clip him in the leg, but man ends up bleeding out, and he turns right then and there. So that's sort of then that's sort of the catalyst for him making the statement: guns do more harm than good. They don't. He doesn't use them. They attract the past or the infected, and they cause harm. So he feels a tremendous sense of guilt at that point that he shot this man, and now the man died and turned, and we can only imagine where the story goes from there. So they notice there's a hole, infected are falling in the water. But I'm a little curious, and it might just be the noise of the running water. It might just be they might just stumble and just fall. Something is drawing them to go through that opening and into the river. There's got to be something drawing them there. It doesn't appear to be noise. I understand when there's people there that they can see in the river. That's why is that though they were falling, but there's not you can imagine not that many people are in that river on a daily basis other than John. Now some might follow him, but he's at his house and they just start showing up out of nowhere. I don't know. Anyway, they try and block the hole with the vehicle. He refuses to use guns and he berates. I don't know if that's the perfect word, but he gets very mad at Laura when she takes his box of pistols. And even when there's a clear and present danger to himself, when an infected is coming at him with a machete through its body, he still doesn't. He still refuses to shoot it, even though that's the easier thing to do. Yes, it'll draw them, but that's something. That might have been something one to using. Sorry, if you're gonna use a gun, that's the time. Okay, they start to really bond though. Despite that little moment, they do start to bond, and they seem to genuinely care about each other. Like neither one wants the other one to get hurt. He's going out of his way to help her, take care of her, fix her up, and she does. As part of, she does offer to help with the fence. And, I mean, it does work for a while, but eventually some start to push through, and There's a lot. Not really sure what they were drawn by, but in this case, they might have just. But what prompted them to push the vehicle, push past it? What is drawing these walkers in mass? I'm saying that right, but in huge amounts to go towards the river. Are they really drawn by just the sound of the flowing water? That's my guess. Anyway, John doesn't want her to leave. He says that he loves her. Now, ordinarily, I would say that love doesn't happen that quickly, but in these types of circumstances, people can bond pretty fast. It can happen. And she clearly feels for him too. She said it in the little note she left, but doesn't stop her from leaving. Anyway, the infected get through. And there's a lot of them, and John and Naomi go and